Hello, it's me, Arden Lee, and in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about the practice of gratitude. And if you're anything like me, which means, well, which means, you came from an environment where there was a lot of skepticism, and I would say even pessimism and a lot of disdain for the sort of positive thinking, love and light communities, aka where I was from was New York, then you might have kind of a bit of distaste for the word gratitude, the idea of having a gratitude practice. And I would love for you to, if you feel that way, if you resonate with that, I would love to challenge you a little bit just to watch this video and to kind of take in perhaps a different approach to it. I realized that I had been robbed of all the benefits of a gratitude practice, quote unquote, by how badly gratitude is marketed to us by society, and especially by our parents and teachers when we're growing up. So I still don't like the word, but I've developed a practice that helps me to utilize all of the benefits of a gratitude practice by understanding them and kind of creating a practice that benefits me without all of the parts about gratitude that I really hated. So before I get into that topic, if you don't know me already, I am the creator of the Repatterning Project, and that is a collective along with an 8-week course where we come together to hack our beliefs to optimize our lives for success and happiness, because we can only create our results by our actions, and our actions are absolutely fueled by how we feel and what we believe is possible, and the amount of mindfulness, conscientiousness that we put into our choices. So one of the things about that is that I'm a big proponent of choosing the beliefs that work for me, that get me the best results. So I'm less concerned with what is objectively true, and I'm more concerned with what is most useful to me and most effective. Now, of course, I'm concerned with truth. I think you guys, if you've been following my videos for a while, you'll notice I feel pretty passionate about truth. But when it comes to our beliefs, there's this saying that stuck with me since I was a teenager. It was on the front of a CD. It was printed on a CD back when people still listened to CDs, back when laptops even had CD drives to begin with, and it was a band called Three Colors Red, and I'm probably dating myself here, but that's fine. And it was a good album. And the quote was, "There is no truth, only human opinion." So I look at that sort of, philosophy as a way of saying, you know what, I have to believe something, so I'm going to choose the angle or the perspective that allows me to get the results that I want in life. And that's essentially the crux of what I teach now and what we work on in the Repatterning Project. So how does that apply to the idea of gratitude? Well, gratitude is, as I said, something that is marketed to us really horribly, especially throughout our childhoods. We're often told to be grateful as a way of getting us to shut up about our pain or our problems, or a way of negating our experiences. Hi Virgil, what are you grateful for today? We hear it at the dinner table, like, be grateful, finish all your dinner. There are starving children in China. Be grateful for what you have. It's so often, pushed to us by our parents as a way of sort of controlling our behavior when we're children. Be grateful you have XYZ, be grateful for that, don't be greedy. gratitude is often seen as the opposite of greed, which kind of means that it's almost like gratitude is trying to say that you're not allowed to want anything because you should be grateful for what you already have. So it negates your pain and it negates your desires. Now, I'm talking about that in terms of gratitude as the way that it's sort of sold to us by society, by sort of not the love and light community, but by like typical, you know, like our parents, you know, the way that we grow up, our parents, our teachers, you know, just typical normal society likes to tell us that about gratitude. You know, we think about gratitude and we think of like Thanksgiving, you know, what are you grateful for? You know, the idea of that a lack of gratitude is something to feel shame about. You know, you are like, how many of us as children were told that we were ungrateful and that was bad, you know, and we should be grateful, but that our ungratefulness was, you know, that our pain or our needs were labeled by our parents as ungratefulness, as a lack of gratitude, right? I remember, oh gosh, I don't even remember what it was about, but I remember my dad when I was like 12 years old or something, like yelling at me and saying like, you are greedy, 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 just like your mother, you know? And my parents were divorced by that point, and it was so funny to me and my mom, you know, that I came home and I told her that story, that like we just laughed about that for years. We still laugh about that to this day. But I think about that, and I think about that, you know, making that you know, that kind of humor into a punchline, you know, making it like, oh my, like, yeah, my dad yelled at me because I was greedy or whatever. But when you think about what's lying under that, yeah, we're shamed for wanting things. We're shamed for having needs, essentially, especially when we're children, you know, because people don't believe our internal experiences typically. You know, society is getting to a place where it's a little better in the way that it deals with children's needs today. More cases of parental abuse are being believed than they were when back in my day, you know. But if you're an adult today, you were probably very much brought up with this programming around gratitude, and so I don't blame you if you don't like the word. I don't blame you if you hear it from these love and light places and you're like, fuck that, fuck you guys being happy all the time and just like gratitude. How am I supposed to feel gratitude when the world around me is a hot dumpster fire? You know, I'm not gonna sit here and focus on, you know, being grateful for the crumbs that I have in my life right now when there is so much unacknowledged pain in my life as well. So today I want to tell you how I sort of hacked this idea around gratitude and why a gratitude practice works for so many people and what I got out of it, and the way that I started sort of repatterning my own gratitude practice so that it worked for me and so that it didn't feel so distasteful. So here's the thing. The gratitude practice that most love and lighters are talking about comes out of a sort of simplified, reductive version of the law of attraction. Actually, the law of attraction is kind of simplified and reductive anyway. It's this idea that the thing that you focus on is the thing that you're going to draw to you. So it's essentially law of attraction. I like to explain that as hacking your confirmation bias, right? We all have confirmation bias. If you don't know what confirmation bias is, it means that you're more likely to see, your brain is going to cherry pick evidence of things that you already believe. So it's essentially confirming the bias you already have. That is confirmation bias. So when people talk about gratitude in the love and light community, essentially what they're saying is if you focus on the stuff that you like, that will actually help you be in the vibration of getting more of it. So when I started to realize that that was how a gratitude practice really broke down when it's effective, I was like, wait a minute, how have you been keeping this from me for so long? You know, how is it actually true that gratitude is actually not the opposite of greed? Gratitude and greed can actually kind of go hand in hand. And, you know, greed gets, it's like, you know, greed is a very shadowy part of desire, right? So I'm not going to advocate for, you know, Jeff Bezos level greed. You know, I'm not going to advocate for, you know, I think you guys already know me. Like, I'm not a fan of those people who just manifest their own desires without social responsibility or social consciousness or helping other people who are not as fortunate as we are, or turning a blind eye to those who don't have as much privilege. So, but greed gets sold to us as so bad when we're kids. At least it did to me. You know, you're greedy, 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 just like your mother. Because what? Because I don't know. I wanted something. Because I don't know. I was 12. You know, like whatever it was. You know, like I don't know. Whatever. So we get this idea that gratitude is the opposite of wanting something, that we're not supposed to want things, that wanting things means that we're greedy. But the way that a gratitude practice actually functions, if you're doing it in a way that's going to work for you, is that it actually allows you to focus on the things that you want more of. So when I realized this, I was like, oh, so this actually has nothing to do with the gratitude that I learned as a kid at the dinner table, or that I learned in school around Thanksgiving. You know, it's actually me saying this is the thing that I want more of. And I have such a bad reaction to the word gratitude, probably partly because, you know, Thanksgiving is such a colonialist holiday and I find it hypocritical. And, you know, probably also because I like the good food, but, you know, don't get me started on the rest of it. And probably, you know, probably also because of my experience being called greedy, or my experience being kind of shamed into gratitude as a child. So I leave off those words and I'm like, I'm not going to have a gratitude practice, but what I do is I make love lists. And I make love lists of all the things in my life that I love at the time. So I'll write down like, I love, like, let's see, right now I love Blossom Brothers white peach and jasmine wine spritzers. I don't know, they're really good. I finally got over my canned wine spritzer shame because they're actually delicious. So there's one thing I love. I love Virgil. Virgil is sitting next to me as I make this video. I don't know if you see. I don't know if you guys can see him, but he is chilling out right there. Virg, say hi to the people. He doesn't want to say hi, apparently. He's just kind of burying his nose. I'm really grateful for Virgil. You know, I love Virgil. I'm grateful for the role he plays in my life as my little furry familiar. I love, you know, the songs that I'm creating in my band right now. I love being able to jump on the phone with a friend and be able to talk things out. I had 2 phone calls today that I'm super grateful for. I'm grateful for my coach, Adam Lyons, who's just a super awesome, badass friend. I texted him after I had my 2 nice phone calls today. I texted him to let him know, like, hey, I'm feeling better. You know, I had a couple of good phone calls today and I worked some shit out. So that's an example just of like all the things that I'm loving right now. Like, I love my friends, I love, you know, I love a wine spritzer, I love my cat, you know, all of this. And in thinking about those things that I love, I am put in a better vibration. I'm like, wow, I love my home, you know. Yesterday I was super, super depressed, and I was trying to think of like, you know, I was in bed like almost all day. You know, I've had like kind of like a bit of a rough week. So I was in bed all day, and you know, I was like, what can I do to feel better? And I was like, I really love my home, and I love when I have a clean home. So you know what? I'm just going to get up and I'm just going to straighten my house, and I'm just going to, you know, I'm going to put away the dishes, I'm going to clean up the clutter, and I'm going to vacuum. Oh my gosh, vacuuming is like, I love vacuuming right now. I don't love vacuuming. I love having vacuumed. But like when you vacuum your space and it just feels better, you're like, oh my God, this is so much better. So do you see how already I'm starting to concentrate on the things that I love, and by being in that vibration of the things that I love, I'm going to attract more of them. I'm going to be in that better space. And if I look back on, you know, the writing that I've done, you know, not necessarily publicly, but the writing that I've done just for myself in my journals, some of the times that I was happiest are times that I did these lists, these love lists, just like things that I'm loving right now, or things that I want, even things that I like. You know, like you can have a starting off point and be like, but I want more. Like I like this, and I want to go in this direction with it. Like I want Or like sometimes the thing I love is just even an idea of something that I want to do in the future. I love this idea that I have that I want to do this, right? It doesn't even have to be something I have yet. Or I just have the idea. I love the idea of doing this thing. I want to do that. I want to do more of that. So when you start doing those lists, you get happier and you start to see more and more possibilities around you, you know, and when you focus on those things that you do love, it really helps. And I feel like that's a million miles away from what most people think of as a gratitude practice. Oh my God, just fucking hate the idea of a gratitude practice. It just sounds like shut up, forget all your pain, and be fucking grateful. And I'm not all about that, because nobody's pain ever went away by pretending it didn't exist and just, you know, having this energy of like, but I shouldn't be greedy, I shouldn't be upset about those things because I have this thing over here or whatever, because gratitude has really been put forward to us as something that is a tool to derail us from our, you know, from the problems that we want to solve, from the pain that we're having. And everyone's pain deserves to be heard. Everyone deserves that, you know, even if it's just to yourself, to say, no, I'm fucking unhappy about this. I don't like this. I don't want this, you know? But being able to focus on the things that you do love and that you do want more of helps you actually attract more of it. So, again, if you have to get rid of the word gratitude, I don't blame you. I throw gratitude out the fucking window. But I do talk about what I love and what I appreciate. I love the word appreciate, right? It doesn't have that same that same sting, that same saccharine, cloying thing as gratitude, right? But I love telling people that I appreciate them. I love, you know, I love telling Virgil I appreciate him. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping through the video? I appreciate you deciding to take a nap right next to me as I'm doing the video, even though my voice might be sort of keeping you awake and I'm petting you and that's probably keeping you awake too. Anyway, you guys probably get the point of this video. You don't have to watch me keep petting Virgil slightly off camera. So anyway, that is my recommendation. Again, if you're interested in the repatterning project, I encourage you to look in the description box and you're going to find a link to a free PDF about the repatterning modality, a little bit about the course, and you're also going to find a link to a community on Facebook that you can join and you can come hang out with us and you know, get your questions answered, find support, and come party. So have a great rest of your day. I will see you in the next video.